Hello, hello. I hope you're having an awesome OnPassive day. This video is an edited version of last Friday's Global Dedicated OnPassivians webinar. I took out the translations and a few other parts to give the speaker portions for those that you see named here. Together, these leaders paint a very good picture of what it means when we say the heart of OnPassive. I hope you enjoy this and that your own heart set resonates with the heart of OnPassive. I'd also like you to know that whatever it is that you're doing, we wish only blessing and blessing upon you and your entire future.
Last week, Mr. Mufara, or O Media in particular, came out with a video, right, that showed the OnPassive celebration for their employees. And in that caption, or in that video rather, there was a caption that said, celebrating the heart and soul of OnPassive. And so when you contacted me earlier in the week, I said, well, that sounds like a real good topic. And I thought, wow, we should get some other leaders, big leaders in here and get everybody kind of mulling this thing around a bit. So thank you for that. I'm going to start out by saying, the purpose of life is to learn more ways to be like God in a way, to reflect more of what we think of as unconditional love. I mean, after all, I think we'd all agree that God is love, right? And we've all been taught that. So the way that we learn is done through life experiences. It's an evolutionary process, especially when you think, of spiritually, and we evolve through what we learn. Now, the primary way that we learn is through contrast, and contrast is just an obvious difference between a couple of different things. And I know I'm going around my elbow to get my thumb. I'll try to bring this all around into a good circle, bring us back on point. But contrast, which is, the difference between two things like love, fear, dark, light, pain, pleasure, up, down, those sorts of things, right? We have a lot of it in life. Life is full of contrast, and that's how we gauge what we learn through our experiences to decide what direction we're going to go on our journey in a way. And the primary contrast is the contrast between love at the one end and fear at the other. And there's a whole lot of room in between that we can play in. And accordingly, each choice that we actually make is made because we believe that choice is going to make us happier in some way. And in that way, every choice we make moves us either closer to God, right, toward love, or farther away toward fear. Now, with each experience, at every moment in that experience, we have within us the free will to choose what we want to do right or want to do next. Now, through these choices, we determine the direction and the pace of our journey, of our own evolution in a way. And that direction and pace is what provides our level of joy. And ultimately, and this is how it all ties back in, our joy is associated with how successful we feel in life. And accordingly, success in any area of life comes down to one thing. Whatever you want to call it, perseverance or determination or drive or courage or passion, right? It comes down to heart. Heart. In the face of tremendous odds, in the disappointments of crippling setbacks, with that voice of doubt that's continually ringing in our ears, heart is what drives us forward with an inner knowing that what we do is right and what we do is for the greater good. And heart is what fuels our faith on the journey of 1,000 miles. On the journey of no looking back, in a way, heart gives us that do it or die resilience that Mr. Mufara talks about. And it says, you know what, we're in this for the long haul, come what may. And that's the kind of heart that OnPassive has at its core. That's our fundamental heart right there, is the passion that we have for moving forward and to doing what's right because it's right. Now, for years, Mr. Mufara has given us this message, namely that OnPassive has been created for the long haul. been designed to give us the resources and the tools for life that are going to affect us in a number of ways and change our lives, each and every one of us, for the better. Firstly, it provides us freedom, right? We all remember Camo. It says freedom is having the time and the resources to do what we want and we want. Secondly, ONPASSIVE is going to give us enough so that we can help others. And in some cases, that's going to be substantial. And it's not just been designed to lift us into material abundance, right? The heart message of ONPASSIVE is that it's finally here and it's going to help. And as members of the human race, that we're not only going to be lifted, but that we can help lift others into a heart space, even into a mindset, if you will, of abundance that gives us energies, it gives us confidence, it allows compassion to flow out of us in the form of compassionate action, which is given in service to others. And this is to say the purpose of ONPASSIVE at the level of lifting humanity, is to allow a way for us to have more than what we need, and even more than that, encourages us to share our excess with others. And in this way, ONPASSIVE provides a way for us to stand against selfishness, to stand against a corruptive influence, and to lift those around us to our level. And this is how we're changing lives. This is how we're lifting humanity. And this is the heart and soul of ONPASSIVE. And we only have to make the choice to get in step with ONPASSIVE's vision for doing that. It's not just about what we're getting from it personally, but it's that's part of it. Now, whether you've been with us for 5 years or 5 months really doesn't matter. The bigger part is, what can we do for humanity, and what are we doing for the planet? And we can decide to put our heart in it today and even pay it forward in a way. Now, my guess is that each and every person in here has struggled at some point to where they've wanted to stop or to quit or fall down and beat the ground right in your feet, just kind of just get anger. Most of us have probably felt, the cards have been stacked against us our whole lives. Perhaps even fallen prey to those that may have more talent or more money or more opportunity, or maybe they were just mean, right? They just wanted to selfishly keep us down. But we don't have to focus on that anymore, because there's some glorious changes happening. There's fresh, new changes, and they're coming to us kind of like a breeze that's blowing across the terrain, if you will, and that terrain is ONPASSIVE. And it's blowing us in the direction of compassion and connectedness, and it's in a direction that's leading to the greater good. And all we have to do is choose to be a part of it, to be a part of what's going on here. It's been created for us, and it has been drawn to us by the intentions of our own heart. And every heart here has heard that call, and there's going to be millions, probably eventually billions from around the world that are going to hear it as well before too very long. Now, we have the power of right on our side, of righteousness, right? From which heart emerges, and it will be heart that's going to win the day. We only got to choose to be an active part of it, a part of this conscious business that we call ONPASSIVE, with a focus on the greater good. And if we all think like that, if we can get our minds off of ourselves and into a mode of helping others in a way, then the ONPASSIVE model of connectedness and mutual benefit that we see, which has given us the best possible chance for outrageous success, is going to make sure that our dreams get fulfilled. And more than that, it's going to make sure that we have the opportunity to share it, and that those that we share it with have that same opportunity. So let's share the idea of ONPASSIVE. I mean, the sciences have data saying that it's going to come back to you exponentially, and that's just the law of God. That's the way it works, and there's no scripture on the planet that would ever say anything otherwise. And all of this together constitutes the heart of ONPASSIVE, lifting humanity for the greater good and doing what's right because it's right. Thank you very much. I'd love to hear what everybody else has got to say.
So over to Dr. Bill Williams, please.
Thank you, Sushanta. Good to follow Jeffrey. He's set me up well to add a few tidbits of information that I feel are important about the heart of ONPASSIVE. So thank you, Jeffrey. I want to share a slideshow with you of a few slides that will kind of pinpoint what we're talking about. So let me put my slide up. And the thing about this is that what we have to offer people in ONPASSIVE is something that is way beyond what most people expect. And that's the key thing about ONPASSIVE is we're more than people expect. So where do we get this from? What is the story behind ONPASSIVE, the heart of ONPASSIVE? You know, you might ask, where does it come from? So I went out and did a dig, an archaeological dig. What do you mean by an archaeological dig? Well, I took a trip. And what is a trip? An archaeological trip is called? It's a dig. Have you ever been on a trip to dig? To dig into the past, to dig into the meaning of something? We're digging today into the heart of ONPASSIVE. And so A stands for what? Well, what does Mother Teresa stand for? What is her undeniable quality? She had many qualities that were good, but one of them was she was altruistic. She wanted to help people for the greater good, not for herself, but to benefit others. And isn't that the heart of ONPASSIVE? Isn't that the heart of our founder? Isn't that the heart of who most of you are, is you're doing things for the greater good, the hope less model. What about D in a dig? If you're on an archaeological dig, you're maybe doing something that is notable, worthwhile, in a way that people respect. It's called being dignified. ONPASSIVE is very dignified in that we approach things from a professional way. And we are looking to be not a flim-flam organization, a scam organization. No, we're trying to be the correction to the corruption. We're trying to be the fix. What about the I in a dig? Well, think about our friend Thomas Edison. What was he known for? Innovation. ONPASSIVE, the heart of ONPASSIVE is not just to create wealth and give away money. It's to be innovative. And that innovation leads to self-sustainability. Not only do we want to bring people up and help them up, we want to teach them up. And if we teach people up by creating innovative ways in the business, economy, the world to create wealth, that's the heart of ONPASSIVE. What about the G in a dig? Well, the main man himself, Ashma Farah, says this is a global outreach. ONPASSIVE, the heart of ONPASSIVE is not to centralize the wealth into one person's hands. It's to spread it out globally among all the people, starting with the founders as the chief purveyors of spreading the news, but also as it goes into the hands of all the people who use and become resellers, and they become able to have a living wage, to have something that they own. So it's a global effort. So here today on this archaeological trip, we've outlined the global focus with the dedicated Onpassivians from all around the world who are gathered here today with us. We've learned about altruism, being dignified, being innovative, and being a global company. That summarizes, to me, the the heart of ONPASSIVE. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you so much. I would request now John Berilla, please head on.
Yes.
You can skip this topic.
I'm ready. I'm here. I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you for inviting me. And of course, I have to speak now. And when I see who our presenters and speakers are today, I'm a little bit challenged. I'm almost embarrassed to be, well, I'm not embarrassed to be amongst them, but I'm wondering, you know, what could I possibly have to say? And usually I speak off the top of my head, and I'm pretty much plan to do that today. But now, when I see our topic, I will use some notes that I have from a couple of weeks ago. But first, I'd like to say we're talking about the heart of ONPASSIVE. Okay, so that's a very important thing, and we can already see that ONPASSIVE is not waiting to show its heart. They're already involved and active on the ground in places in the world where help is needed right now. That's very impressive to me. And so I would say that's very much showing what the heart of ONPASSIVE is. So I'd like to make it into something more personal, let's say, and not only for myself, but for everyone here today, aside from the presenters, all of you that are here listening to us, to me today. It's time to discover your own heart and how it will be involved with ONPASSIVE. So first, just let me tell you that now I'm an actor, and for many, many years, I played a character, and I kind of identify with that character even now from the story of The Wizard of Oz. And that character is the Tin Man. And I played that character for about a period of 15 years on and off with a particular company that I worked with. And I began to identify very much with that character. Now, the character of the Tin Man, his whole story is that he doesn't know that he has a heart. In fact, he's pretty much convinced that he has no heart. So his journey on the way to see the wizard, to ask for help from the wizard with his cohorts, Dorothy, the lion, and the scarecrow, is to ask the wizard, please, Mr. Wizard, give me a heart. He doesn't know. Throughout the story, as he portrays himself, he shows constantly that he has a big heart. And he doesn't discover until the very end of the story that the wizard tells him he can't give him a heart. He doesn't need to give him a heart. He symbolically gives him a heart. But he tells him, you've had a heart. You have a heart all along. Now, I identified with that myself as I played this character for many years. And now let me bring it to when I came to ONPASSIVE. I have to admit that when I first discovered ONPASSIVE, I didn't necessarily understand or seek the humanitarian side of ONPASSIVE. And what is this about? We have a heart for humanity. I was here because I thought I was going into another business on the internet that I wanted to make money. However, I soon began to discover just what our humanity and what ONPASSIVE heart is all about. Now, let me bring it to, I'm going to challenge all of you to start thinking about this for yourselves. What are you going to do to display your hearts with ONPASSIVE? Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was on another webinar, and Dr. Derek was the presenter. And after he spoke, I thought, you know what? I have never thought about where am I going from here with ONPASSIVE, and I don't have a to-do list. So all of us should be creating, to be moving forward, and we're all going to have to be taking action and showing our heart for humanity. Anyway, I have this little list that I made after listening to Dr. Derek, and he came back and said to me after I read this little list that I jotted down, he said, you have a to-do list. You have over 50 things there that you've got. And I said, oh my goodness, I don't know about 50 things, but let me just tell you a few of these things that I've discovered about myself, and it kind of creates my own to-do list with my heart. Anyway, some of these things are believe. Yes, you can believe. Believe in yourself. Create a to-do list. Dream big. And as we've learned recently from Mr. Ashmufara, dream bigger. Be mindful. Vision, target, passion. Give yourself a chance and change. Change to improve, to do better. Dreams revived. Hopes arising. The persistence of ONPASSIVE promises peace and prosperity for all humanity. So these are like the little notes that I made that I'm thinking, now that all has to do with my heart and how I can be involved with ONPASSIVE. So I'm saying, I'm asking you folks, it's a call to action. I know we don't have a call to action button here today. We'll have all of you to start thinking and dreaming bigger about your heart and what can you do to be active and involved with ONPASSIVE to show the heart of ONPASSIVE. So that's really all I have to say today, is to speak of my own heart and how I am going to use that to be involved to help humanity through the heart of ONPASSIVE. So thank you very much.
Jane Aliba.
Oh, excellent. Engineer Sushanta, oh my goodness, my mind is now totally blown away. From Jeffrey, Dr. Bill, John. I'm like so emotional now, because the story of the Tin Man is so, that's each of us, so emotional. For me, the heart of ONPASSIVE, it's all of these things, right? It's everybody that's going to speak today, and every single person on this meeting today has their own expression of what the heart of ONPASSIVE is, just like you referred to, Engineer Sushanta. I wanted to go back to why this company is so disruptive. Ash, it goes back to Ash, the person that he is, the heart that he has. So everything that he conceives is coming from a heart space, right? So he had an idea, and then it blossomed from his heart. So you have that seed, that's the seed from which all of this grew. And in the process of him creating this technology company, that's the irony, that's the disruption, is that it's a technology company. Head, analytical, mind, it's all up here in the head, right? Designing software, that's all head stuff, right? Ash has refocused us from the head down into the heart. And he has done this with his team in Hyderabad, such that they are now designing software, doing all of these things from that heart space, which is going to completely transform everything that they create. That's, for me, the major disruption that is going to have this ripple effect. So and it's so ironic that something so highly technical and centered in the brain, in the head, is now coming from this beating heart, this electrical pump that is the heart of ONPASSIVE, and that is replicated through all of us. Ash has always said, replicate yourself. So he has replicated himself, which is a heart. He is a walking heart. That man is one pure heart, and he has replicated that through all of us. And as John has said, what are we going to do with that new focus on the heart? What are we going to do when we go out into the world and create change in our communities and our families? How are we going to use our heart? Instead of thinking, how am I going to get myself out of this? Whatever, we just drop down into the heart and just come from that calmer, more beautiful, more loving space. And Jeffrey had talked about life's purpose, contrast, and choice. And in relation to the heart of ONPASSIVE, many people, if I would argue almost every person coming into ONPASSIVE has found at least a portion of their life's purpose reignited now, because they're like, I've been dreaming of this my whole life. I've been thinking, now that I have the means, I can finally go out and be the person I've always wanted to be. And that can be being altruistic, as Dr. Bill had talked about, or being creative. Maybe I'm an artist and I've always wanted to paint, but I always had to do the job and make the money to pay the bills, and I didn't have time to paint, or I didn't have the resources to buy the materials or whatever. Our hearts are now going to expand into all of those things that we have always wanted to do, but couldn't before for those typically financial or time reasons. And now OnPassive is freeing that up. It's igniting our hearts in that way. The contrast that Jeffrey talked about, that is the gift that keeps on giving, right, Jeffrey? Contrast is the gift that keeps on giving. Stuff happens. Life happens. And we could look at it as like, why is all this stuff always happening to me? Why, you know, and we could say every time something happens, car breaks down, stub our toe, whatever, we could say, thank you for that, because that is going to inform my next decision and my next decision. And if we instead come from here and go down into here, we're going to be grateful for that contrast, those things that happen. And I've tried to teach this to my daughter when she had a car accident. And I said, if you can get through this without blame, without losing your head, without getting deeply upset and holding on to it, like, why did that happen? Why did that person turn at that time? If you can get yourself out of that and go into a place of calm and gratitude, you will sail through that. Am I right, Jeffrey? You will sail through these situations and all of a sudden it's a non-issue. And so Ash is teaching us that. He is teaching us to refocus from here and our agitations and our complications and our overanalyzing and coming down into this beautiful, peaceful space of the heart. And if you do that across an entire company, you cannot go wrong. You can, everything that you create from that point is going to be beautiful and have a beneficial effect on the world. And so if we can respond to everything that happens, no matter what, if we can respond with patience, thoughtfulness, wisdom, humor, love, we are just going to have the most golden ride, even with its bumps. That's all part of it. It keeps it fun, right? Keeps the drama in it, right, John Barilla? Thank you all. Thank you so, so much. I'm so looking forward to everyone else that's going to speak today. Thank you, Engineer Shishanta Dhanawad. I just love this topic. It is, as you said, a challenging one, right? Because it's so vast, so vast. Thank you all.
Dr. Derek is with us. I request Dr. Derek, please speak on the topic.
Oh, mercy. Please, blessings and enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love at the quintuple top. Oh my goodness. It surpassed cloud nine. Most people talk about cloud nine, you know, especially in this side of the world, cloud nine. But, you know, quintuple top surpassed cloud nine and gone. I don't even know where it gone because we are on unfamiliar territory. Thank you very much, Sir Jeffrey. Thank you very much, Dr. Bill, and of course, Sir John. Oh my goodness. I don't know why you keep saying that you cannot speak on a topic, because you knock it out of the ballpark, especially with that Tin Man and all of that. Queen Jean, awesome, awesome. And I'm going to kind of combine up everything. And thank you very much, Engineer Shushanta. Really appreciate it. And first of all, I want you to just take a look at this video, because keep mindset in mind. Let me say that again. Because that is what Ash Mufara is trying to work on with all of us. Because all of us came, as Queen Jean said, all of us came with the mindset of earning some money. I need to make some money. That was the mindset, tangible. And so therefore, let us kind of go down this route that this video. Take a look at it. Wonderful. Everybody know Rihanna. No matter where you live, you know Rihanna. And on the 21st of January, this hotel, Atlantis, the Royal, that Brianna did that concert. And I tell you, that concert, you had to have a minimum of $831 in your pocket to go to that concert with one ticket. So Sir Jeff, if you're carrying your wife or your girlfriend or whoever, you have to come up with at least, you have to have $2,000 in your pocket. And so therefore, that is the mindset. That was the heart that we have. We have to have money. Pay the rent, pay the mortgage, pay the bills, pay the that, pay the that, pay the that. We would like to be in Rihanna's position where this one concert, one night, Rihanna made $24 million. Can you imagine? One night, one concert, $24 million. And of course, she and her family stayed at the Atlantis, the Royal. And I tell you, it's $100,000 a night. Let me say that again. $100,000 per night for the Royal Mansion penthouse that she stayed into. Can you imagine? So yes, of course, we would like to at least even to smell this type of life at some point. To say, well, oh my goodness, I spent, if it's even the cheapest room, maybe not the Royal Mansion penthouse, you understand? Maybe not that, but at least to even go there. And that is, of course, my goodness, the outlook. And that is why we do a lot of side hustles. That's why we do MLM. That's why we do all of these things in order to get that dream that we are looking forward to. But of course, some people get the dream. And that's why they play lotto. That's why they play Powerball. And that's why they go to Vegas and do all of those gambling things. Because, of course, that's what we want. Come on. That is what we want. We want the dream. And so, listen, this man of 70% is like this man. Win a big time in lotto because, of course, this man, Jack Whittaker, this man won back in 2002. He won $314 million. Can you imagine winning? I never said $314, you know. I said 314 million. One of the biggest lotto prize in Powerball. And I tell you, it ruined his life more than anything else. Literally ruined his life more than anything else. Because yes, from once you get a lot of money, then you're going to think about donating, you're going to think about giving away to church, you're going to think about this and that, and family members and strangers, you're going to be giving left, right, and center. And so his life turned to turmoil. According to ABC News, his wife left him. Can you imagine? Wife left him, his house burned down, ran afoul of the law, which means him not paying tax and giving his thing and all of that. He lost a daughter to cancer and a granddaughter to drugs. And he died a few years after all of these winnings. And so, come on. That is why Ash Mufare is trying to give us the heart. Because the heart include everything. Because these are some wealthy people who get wealth from acting and all of these different things. Wesley Snipes, he tried to evade taxes, end up in prison. 50 Cent, running with the law and all of that. DMX, right? all of these persons were wealthy. And sometimes when we look at them on the TV screen, Lily Kim, sometimes when we look at these people on the TV screen and how their life looks so glamorous and all of that, yes, they go through some very, very nasty life. Nasty life. Why? Because everything is up here, getting the money, getting the money, getting the money, getting the money, and not until this man. Not until this man. This man, this humble man came on the scene and said, listen, we are going to move the corruption. We are the correction to the corruption. He has been saying that over 4 years now, and some of us still don't get it. Some of us is still clueless as to what that really means. And I thank all the presenters so far as to trying to bring us to that moving from the head kind of looking at things and start to look at things with the heart. The heart of ONPASSIVE is ingrained, is manifested in Ash Mufare's heart and what he has done thus far for us, first of all, for us, and trying to help us to remove ourselves from the lavish thinking and getting the millions and spending the millions, and trying to bring us to help humanity. And that is why things like the World Women Entrepreneur Summit, these are the type of things that ONPASSIVE is sponsoring on this wonderful weekend that is coming up right now, this weekend, today it starts, and it is moving, going further. And so the heart of ONPASSIVE is about enabling people to enable others. It is about creating business opportunity to provide stable income. It's about teaching people how to fish, increasing their ability. And that is coming straight from the heart of ONPASSIVE, which is Ash Mufare. The heart of ONPASSIVE is starting a company with heart. No one has ever done that before. No one has ever done that before. Having a company with 1+ million founders, trying to instill in us first the heart that is needed to help others to get the heart, because that's what it's really about. Help for us to get the heart of Ash Mufare, of ONPASSIVE, in order to get others to get the heart. So let us not think, give me the money, give me the money, give me the money. Let us think, how can we motivate people to have the heart? It's starting a company at the top, not in any basement, not in any, garage, no. We started at the top with a 10-year citizenship in Dubai. We started at the top with Burj Khalifa, migrating to the ecosystem, sponsored through beIN Sport in FIFA 22. 10 years naming rights at Station 29 in Dubai. Company with a heart. It is looking forward to telling you about Oh Bless. Oh Bless. Oh Bless. Oh Bless. Many think it's just another charity or a crowdfunding, but it is not. Words coming from Ash Mufare. The heart of ONPASSIVE is about enabling people to enable others. Let me say that again, straight from Ash's mouth. On March 6th, just the other day. It's about enabling people to enable others. Let us enable ourselves with the heart so we can in turn enable others. It is about creating business opportunity to provide stable income It's about teaching people how to fish, increasing their ability. We have seen all the devastation across the world, all the devastation, earthquake, flood, hurricane, this, that, everything across the world. And that is where the heart of ONPASSIVE really lies. Helping humanity to lift up humanity. Because we gone to the, my great grandmother Dingy would say, we gone to the dogs. And so that is what it is about. It is about lifting humanity. We can never revive the lost lives, but our duty is to make it easier for the survived. Ashmafari. And so let us work on that mindset. People, let us really, really work on that mindset to get the focus off the technicality, as Queen Jean said. Get the focus off the technicality of things. And that is how most men think, really and truly. Technical. That's how most men think. Let us remove all of that and let us come to the heart where we as a society, we as humanity can rise up out of the dust and the rubble so that everyone, just like Dubai, nobody, can you imagine? No one in Dubai is homeless. No one in Dubai is under poverty. No one in Dubai is left in the rubble. And so the model that Ashmafari would like all of us to assume is to bring humanity out of the rubble, so that all of these wars and would diminish, because all of us have, and we are now viewing persons as a human being, someone that we can love regardless of who they are. We can love with the heart of humanity that is coming from Ashmafari and the heart of ONPASSIVE. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Derek. Thank you so much. Jen, please.
Thank you, Engineer Shashanto. I just want to say something really quickly, because while Dr. Derek was speaking, it dawned on me, and I don't know if I'm coining a phrase or coining a word here, but he was talking about mindset. We're always talking about our mindset, growth mindset, positive mindset. And I thought maybe we can come up with heart set. It's a little strange to think about, but you have a mindset and a heart set. And I just wanted to share it here because I think it is something that it's like setting our hearts in the right place. Mindset, heart set. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to sort of throw that out there because it just popped into my mind as Dr. Derek was speaking. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Yes, we also need the heart set. Now I request Rekha Martia to speak on the topic.
Thank you, Shashanta ji.
Yeah, please go ahead. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Namaste to everyone. I'm Rekha Martia from India. I'm listening to all my last speakers, 5 speakers speaks about heart of ONPASSIVE. I also want to agree with all people, those who speak out about heart of ONPASSIVE. I myself think that we all are heart of ONPASSIVE. We all brand ambassadors are heart of ONPASSIVE, because John sir told, make a list, to-do list. We will make a good things list. If we will do good things in all our life, then it's a pumping heart to our ONPASSIVE. And if we are doing good things in our life, we help each other, we will help uplift humanity, or maybe we'll do what Bill sir told. We will make a list, we'll do that things. We are artists, we all are artists. In our life, we all are artists, but we will act like John sir told, okay, we will make a to-do list and then we implement that list for humanity. Then Dr. Derek explained all things, why money is not matters in our life. Work is matter in our life. How we will work, that matters in our life. How we will expend that money in our life, that is matters. So all thing is that we all brand ambassadors are heart of ONPASSIVE. If we are doing good things in our life, we will do uplifting all needy peoples in this globe. Then we pump and we purify our ONPASSIVE's heart, and then ONPASSIVE will become young and young and young all time. So thank you, Sushanta sir. You give me a chance to speak here. I learn, and so many things I learned from Jane, from John sir, from Dr. Derek sir, Dr. Bill sir, and I want to listen more and more from this platform. So thank you so much, Sushanta sir. You give me a chance to speak here, and thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you, Rekhaji. Thank you so much for being with us, and definitely we are really grateful to you. You have very rightly said that all the founders are the heart of ONPASSIVE. That's true. But through technology, through innovation, through motivation, not motivation, through courage of our CEO Ash Mupare and his team, our heart is actually transforming. Our heart is actually transforming. Whenever we join with ONPASSIVE, that with that heart, we won't be continue with the ONPASSIVE. So through our teaching, through several activities, our heart is now being transformed to be an true ONPASSIVian, so that whenever we have the abundance, we can use those wealth in proper manner for the better cause of humanity. So we have to have that heart, and if all the ONPASSIVians can carry that kind of heart, and if and the total work of the total ONPASSIVians will impact on the humanity, of course, on the planet. That's why Ash is always saying we are gonna reshape the whole planet. Thank you, Rekhaji. Thank you so much. Now we have with us Dr. Benny. Please speak on the topic or add on the other speakers.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Engineer Sushanta, for giving me this opportunity. I want to take this special moment to thank our Father in heaven for bringing all of us together at this moment. He decided to bring our CEO to us. I want to thank him as well. If it wasn't for him or all of them, we will not be here. Thank you so much. I want to thank Brother Jeffrey. You guys have spoken. I don't see why I should. Sister Jennings, Dr. Derek, Dr. Bill, and Sister Rika. Great presentation, sister. Welcome, welcome. Now, to tell you the truth, when it comes to the heart of ONPASSIVE, our CEO loves each and every one. So the heart of ONPASSIVE will be what? It will be, to me, is Obless, right? One of the products, Obless, for humanity. So our CEO is here to eradicate poverty and to uplift humanity. There are a lot of things that he has done to us, especially you guys know what happened, transpire in Turkey and Syria. He was able to give a certain amount to help them. It was like a humanitarian. I'm so happy for what he has done. And guys, can you guys believe it? Amen. This company has not started yet, but he is able to help different people all over the globe. Can you believe it? So I just believe that it's God that has sent him to do such things to each and everyone, especially those who are in need. So when it comes to humanity, humanity refers to collectively to humans, right? The quality of being human, right? The peculiar nature of human or a man by which he is distinguished from others being. So our CEO, like I stated, that he is here to uplift humanity. ONPASSIVE is about a real genuine of love of humanity. Now, based upon the brand ambassadors, ONPASSIVE is no longer about the money, just like our CEO stated, right? It's not longer about money. It is beyond money, stated by our CEO. So humanity means caring for helping others whenever and wherever possible. Now, one of our products, like I stated, is the Obless, which is a crowdfunding platform built for good and innovative causes, just like Dr. Bill stated about innovative. And it allows users to run campaigns for social causes or get started for fundings. With this, remember, as I talked about the earthquake, there are a lot of people out there. When it comes to the listing of what Brother John Barrera stated, that there are certain things that you have to write, and that he mentioned that when the time comes for us to receive these apples, there are a lot of things, because we all know that we never knew that we will be receiving certain type of amount, right? Now, when you start receiving the apples, there are certain things that you would like to do. Well, like me, I know that there are a lot of underprivileged children out there that they need like water, they need food to eat, they need clothing, shoe, especially when you go to certain countries, you notice that these children, when you go to the class, you see them with barefoot. They don't have even shoe to wear, and then some of them don't even sit on a desk. Some of them are sitting on the floor, and then when you go to other countries, you see some of them sleeping on the floor with no blanket. So what do you guys think about this when you start receiving this apple? Now, you're believing, I believe in my heart that I will do what it takes, because when the money is going to be too much. That's what our CEO stated, right? It's going to be plenty. So what do? Are you going to just put it in the bank, right? Put it in the bank and say, oh, I'm a billionaire. And then what? Remember that when you die, what happened with that money? It will go somewhere. Or your family that they never knew about you. Or they say, oh, Dr. Benny, you know, oh, I was the uncle of this, I was the auntie. Can you believe it? Just to grab your money. But at this moment, when you start receiving these apples, think about it, my brothers and sisters, my queens and kings. There are children out there. Most of the time I talk about St. Jude, right? I talk about St. Jude because most of them, they don't even have hands. They don't have legs. I'm not lying. So when I saw those kids, I cried, right? I know that I always cry, but I noticed that I have to send money for cancer research. They need help. There are children in India that need serious help. It's not only in Africa, it's all over the globe. Then you have widowers, right? Widowers that they have like 5 children that their husband died. And then, have you guys noticed that some of the women, sometimes they just sit because their husband say, don't work, right? Right, but just take care of the children. But now, if your husband dies, what happens? You have to take care of those kids, no matter what. That is why we have to do what it takes. Oh, and again, I want to thank all the brand ambassadors because you guys saw the visions, right? You guys saw the vision just like our CEO. So do what it takes and save this money to help our children out there. Well, I will stop now because I know we have more people to talk about, but I just want to thank those who have spoken before. And Brother Shoshanta, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Naim. Thank you so much. Now I request we have with us our friend SM Akram Hussain. Please, Akram Hussain from Bangladesh.
My name is SM Akram Hussain. I am your friend, and it's really great webinar where I have heard great speeches from Dr. Bill William, Jeffrey Morlock, Jean, and great other speakers. If I mention the name, it's take the time. I'm really proud and honored to be part to this great webinar. I would like to thanks to our great CEO, Ash Mufare, to create such a platform where 1.4 million Onpassivians meet each other like physical event. It's also the I would like to say that the heart of Onpassive. This is also the heart of Onpassive. I believe that, and where we will change our lifestyle through Onpassive journey. It is also the heart. If there have not the heart, we cannot do it, because I know everyone have given their speeches by their own language, and this subject is not so easy. Today's subject, it's really hard to explain properly, but I am giving from my heart this speech. Actually, I'm a learning process in a daily basis from Onpassive. If I didn't join Onpassive, I would not have gotten global family. This is also the heart of Onpassive. Onpassive has become daily part of my life because Onpassive has a heart to uplift humanity and has the ability to put a stop to the corruption with the correction. This is also the heart of the Onpassive. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akram. Thank you so much. Now I request Engineer Mike, please. I think you know the topic today, the heart of Onpassive. So I request you to say a few words on this topic. Over to Engineer Mike. Then I'll go to Jeffrey Morlock for his closing remarks.
Yeah, so thank you, leaders. I mean, it is a big journey. When we talk about our Onpassive and the heart, it is something that you cannot imagine, okay? So let me bring it to this perspective. There is something in management, business management, that they call the corporate social responsibility, okay? It is called CRS. No, CSR or CRS, or corporate social responsibility, or corporate or social corporate responsibility, anyone that you want to call it. If you look at it, the culture, okay, the value that Onpassive is bringing to not only us, to us, the founders, to its workers, okay, and the society. So the corporate social responsibility is that ability for a company, okay, to give back to its society where it is located. Now, if we want to look at that corporate social responsibility of Onpassive, we will see that Onpassive is delivering its corporate social responsibility. Let's start with this. On the 30th of March, 2022, when Onpassive started its marketing campaign, it launched it at the Burj Khalifa, the day Dr. Benny got married to Onpassive. Remember, after the Burj Khalifa Lisa show, we went straight to the Hyderabad technical hub. What did we see? We saw the first person that was coming up, the chief of the traffic police in Hyderabad. He was walking in with his entourage. They went in there. Onpassive gave a bundle to them, a package to help them and to thank them for the work they've been doing. That's not all. After that, we saw a couple of doctors, about 3 doctors. They came in. Onpassive gave still budget to them to tell them thank you for what they've been doing. That was not all. We saw ONPASSIVE deploying its workers right down to the streets, to the villages, okay, to touch the hearts of the poor and needy. Bags of rice, jugs of oil, okay, cooking oil, flour, bags of flowers were given, distributed to these people who don't even have what to eat. That is our corporate social responsibility. Guess what? ONPASSIVE has not even started commercializing our products. It is doing all of this. Not only that, that is 2022, done, finished. Now, when we came back again now, we just saw still our corporate social responsibility. Our CEO gives cars, okay, to deserving workers, SUV, Hyundai. That car should be like in the neighborhood of $47,000 US, okay? Brand new ones to workers who are deserving. He doesn't even forget every other worker. He goes to the security department and he offer gift to them. To the housekeeping department, remember, if your house is dirty, you cannot even work, right? If the office is so filthy, you cannot work. Corporate social responsibility of our CEO. He calls his workers partners. They are our partners. That's how he calls them. He gives them iPhones, laptops. You know, all this is to encourage them and to thank them for what they're doing. Corporate social responsibility, ONPASSIVE with heart. Now, if you go finish that one, just of recent, the 7.5 magnitude of earthquake break out in Syria and Turkey. What did he do? 1 million dirham. Okay, all of us have seen the video, but the impact of what he's doing, social corporate responsibility or corporate social responsibility. Not every other company is doing that. So if all these companies in the world, that's why we say ONPASSIVE is the correction to corruption. With all what ONPASSIVE is doing, it's ringing the bell. It's bringing that different magnitude, the different aspects that other people did not do before. ONPASSIVE is correcting them. Our CEO is coming to the world to correct that corruption. He's making us those people with heart. We have not even gone global, okay? We have not gone commercial. He calls it global life. We've not gone it, but we're doing all of this. Imagine when 1.4 million of us will be having those apples as Mother Teresa that he wants to make us to be. We will change the world. ONPASSIVE is coming with the heart of gold. ONPASSIVE is coming with all blessed. That is all blessed at work. And we will make it happen. Thank you, my leaders. I rest my case.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear friend. Thank you so much. So in one sentence, we can say that whatever ONPASSIVE is doing, that is doing from its heart. And that is the heart from our CEO, Ash Mufare. Actually, in my 30+ corporate life, I didn't see any company or any CEO that before earning any revenue, he's giving so many surprises like SUV car, mobile, laptop, or so many things to the employees to encourage them for the recognition their good work. So it's amazing, amazing, amazing. Even ONPASSIVE is donated already 1 million dinar, the Arabian currency, sorry, Dubai currency.
1 million dirham.
1 million dirham. That is almost 3 crore taka in our currency. 3 crore taka. That is 3 crore taka to Syria and the earthquake affected people. Can you imagine? It's beyond our imagination. That is the heart of our CEO Ash Mufare. This is the heart of ONPASSIVE. Thank you, Engineer Mike. I'll ask Dr. Patience for a short comment or speech on the topic. Then I'll go to Jeffrey Morlock.
Thank you, Susanto. Thank you all everybody has spoken before, from the angle of life purpose that the brother Jeffrey brought, to the call of action, to the mindset, the heart set, and to the corporate responsibility. So let me put my own spin on the heart of ONPASSIVE. Never in the history of any corporation has the CEO been so open, accessible, transparent in the way that he deals with his founders, his employees, the staff, even the public. At the heart of any organization is the one who sharpens the vision. I would like to explore my understanding of the heart of ONPASSIVE in a different way. Our CEO embodies the heart of ONPASSIVE with regards to ONPASSIVE, to founders, to the employee, the staff, and the approach towards the development of our solution, the user of our solution, and humanity at large. So one, the heart of ONPASSIVE to the founder. ONPASSIVE solution has been given free to us, the founder. We have actually not paid anything towards the development of any of the solution, but we have enjoyed much more than the $97 we have paid. We have not only gained business knowledge, transform our mindset that the business can be run with a heart of love, care, and humanity. We have gained a global family that would have not has happened, but for ONPASSIVE. If you doubt it, request your refund. And our CEO have said he would gladly give it back. Who does that? Who refund money even 5 years, 3 years afterward? Our CEO could have gone out there and secured enough funding to build our solutions. Instead, he has gone out there, spent his personal wealth to build a unicorn company for us, and spend a lot of time to change our mindset. As a founder, I see ONPASSIVE as having a heart of freely giving and building our mindset. The heart to its workers and staff. Even before any of our solution has been developed and deployed, our CEO has been working very hard to build the right mindset and to show us another aspect of the heart of ONPASSIVE. Our employees are treated with dignity and respect, highly recognized with cars, cell phone, awards, celebrate when they achieve certain milestones. Our superb equipped office in Hyderabad, Dubai, and other countries are designed to show that ONPASSIVE, the heart of ONPASSIVE to our employees, the staff, and the best. Sorry, we can see it by the relentless do it or die attitude that have been adopted and is working tirelessly for us, the founders. ONPASSIVE have the heart of gratitude and appreciation. A heart with its products. Our ecosystem of artificial intelligence with a heart integrated solution is built from scratch to be clean, spam-free, children and families friendly, and not to exploit users or sell their data. Our solutions are designed to correct the corruption that is out there. Our solutions are built with the highest degree of safety, e.g. our IPv6, our O-Virtual with IP tracking. Our solutions are built to allow our users to be able to benefit from our products if chosen to be a reseller. Academy will level the education playing field. ONPASSIVE has a heart of integrity, online user safety, and non-exploitation. Heart of business. Everything you need to succeed with AI, ONPASSIVE is building several exciting products featuring artificial intelligence. Our research laboratory engineers and our data scientists are working on deploying solutions that will help businesses for more effectively. ONPASSIVE products are paired with core technological innovation that assist in multiple level automation, enabling unparalleled digital transformation. Check our onpassive.com, you'll see that there. ONPASSIVE has a heart of business to support not only large corporations, but also the mom and pop shops. Their heart to humanity. ONPASSIVE will be one of the companies in the world that will do the most to uplift humanity. Not only the founders, the employees, the staff, and the users of ONPASSIVE solution will be uplifted, but the general population at large. Every aspect of humanity will have the opportunity to be uplifted. With the right mindset, us, the founders, and others OBLESS will become the single vehicle to transfer humanity for good. OBLESS epitomizes the heart of ONPASSIVE. Our CEO once asked us what Mother Teresa could have done if she had the means. For me, I see ONPASSIVE as creating 1 million potential Mother Teresa, provided with the means through the gift of our ecosystem, blessed with our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufara, and his supportive family to change our mindset so that we can all bless to improve the livelihood of the underprivileged, the forgotten, uplift humanity as a whole. When I'm thinking about what is at the heart of ONPASSIVE, I see as an opportunity that each of us will have freely been blessed with a gift to transform our life and be blessing to others. Mr. Ash Moshara, the way we do everything is the way we do everything. Do it or die mentality. That is the heart of ONPASSIVE. We at the core with a man with a heart. He says ONPASSIVE is an IT company with a heart. That is my angle of what the heart of ONPASSIVE. Thank you, Brother Jeffrey, for this topic. Because, and Sister Liva, thank you. If you don't have the right mindset, the heart set will not come. The mindset has to be right for the heart set to be where it's supposed to be, for us to help our CEO vision to eradicate poverty, to stop corruption, to uplift humanity. And Engineer Michael have brought the social angle of it. We saw what happened in Syria. We saw what he did in India 10 months ago. So ONPASSIVE heart to heart, we are the heart. So let's put our heart in the right place so the vision to come to pass. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Patience. Thank you so much. Now I request Jeffrey Morlock, your closing remarks based on the speeches already we heard.
This has been quite the webinar. I've absolutely loved it. I've loved hearing everybody. And I mean, the picture that we painted here today that depicts the different views of the ONPASSIVE heart. A lot of gold nuggets, a lot of nuggets in there. I'm gonna share them. I mean, Dr. Williams opened up by talking about an acronym, a dig, through his archaeological analogy of a big ONPASSIVE dig into ONPASSIVE heart. Mr. Barillo, John, and your reference to the Tin Man that didn't even know he had a heart. So appropriate, my brother, as a reminder of what we're capable of. And I loved your call to action, dream bigger. Gina Leva, what can I say about that? I mean, you're passionate about the analogy, head-heart analogy that described the heart of ONPASSIVE as it came from Mr. Mufara. Man, I love how you described the development of our own heart space, Gene, through contrast, and challenged us to find our own way, emulating all that ONPASSIVE stands for. Thank you so much for that. Dr. Derek reminded us to keep the right mindset, but to keep operating from our heart, and that's to empower others. Martia, thank you so much. You talked about how we can all honor the heart of ONPASSIVE by doing good things to help others, to uplift others in life. That's powerful. Dr. Benny, my grinning mentor lady, I loved your energy, and I love how you spoke about the power of blessing humanity through the eradication of poverty, caring for children, and so much more through the power of ONPASSIVE's vision and his heart, as is shared with so many. Mr. Hossein, you spoke about being ONPASSIVE's heart being shared by the world, by its ambassadors. And thank Mr. Mufara, as we all do, for all that he has done. Dr. Patience, thank you too. You talked about the openness and transparency of ONPASSIVE, its vision, its activity, how it's deploying solutions worldwide, and how it's worked to bless each of us so that we can bless others. Engineer Mike, good to see you, my brother. I loved how you talked about the corporate responsibility that ONPASSIVE has taken as it is regarded as a social responsibility to the point of deploying OBLESS to several areas, all affected by catastrophe, and how they generously donate and give to the needs of the world. And every one of these folks that talked about heart and how ONPASSIVE heart is that in action. And just from me, I can tell you that action is the language of the body, and compassionate action is a universal language of heart. And we are an incredible people backed by an incredible company heading towards an incredible future. And the underlying compassion that flows up and around each of us affiliated with ONPASSIVE, no matter what the position is that we hold, is an ever widening energy that powers our efforts to lift humanity by putting service to others ahead of self. Many thanks to the leaders that spoke here. God bless each and every one of you. I appreciate you so much, Sushanta, for sharing this platform, and can tell you, I mean, without doubt and unequivocally, that I am, as now Gene would say, I am privileged to be counted among those with the right heart set. So thank you so very much, and blessings to you.
Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you so much for your nice conclusion, I should say. On behalf of Global Dedicated ONPASSIVIans, I am expressing my thanks and gratitude to all the speakers, attendees today. We are now at the end of the program. Just before ending, I am wishing all of you best of luck and well-being and good health, and just saying good evening to all of you.